For decades, the West laughed at Chinese military aviation, copycat jets, Soviet hand-me-downs, a third-rate air force that couldn't even develop its own engine. Then something changed. Today, China operates 2 stealth fighters, a carrier air wing, and a drone fleet already being used in active war zones right now. This is every military aircraft China has ever built, and one of them almost no one is talking about: fighter jets Shenyang J-2. China's very first jet fighter, a Soviet MiG-15, built under license in 1951. It couldn't fly without Russian engineers on site, but it gave China something that mattered more than performance: the beginning of an idea that they could build jets at all. Shenyang J-5, based on the MiG-17. This was China's first fighter to see real combat. Chinese pilots flew J-5s in the 1958 Taiwan Strait crisis. Clashing with nationalist aircraft, it proved China's Air Force could fight and lose, and keep flying anyway. Shenyang J-6, the most produced jet fighter in history outside the Soviet Union. China built over 5,000 J-6s, a supersonic MiG-19 clone, and exported them across the world. Pakistan flew them in war. North Korea still has them. Albania refused to give them up for decades. Chengdu J-7. China's attempt to build the MiG-21 almost collapsed completely during the Cultural Revolution. Engineers were imprisoned, development halted. When the J-7 finally emerged, it was years behind schedule. But it became China's most exported fighter. Flying with over 30 air forces worldwide, Shenyang J-8 started in 1964, didn't enter service until 1980. 16 years of engine failures, political chaos, and near cancellation. When it finally flew, analysts called it outdated on arrival. China operated it anyway because they had absolutely nothing else. Shenyang J-8-2. The upgraded J-8 was supposed to receive American avionics under a secret Cold War partnership called Peace Pearl. Then Tiananmen Square happened. The U.S. pulled out overnight. China was left with airframes and no electronics, forced to develop everything from scratch. And this is where the story completely changes, because what comes next is no longer about copying. Chengdu J-10, China's first indigenously designed 4th-generation fighter, no Soviet blueprint, no foreign license, Israeli radar technology helped, but the airframe, fly-by-wire system, and weapons integration were Chinese. When it entered service in 2004, Western analysts quietly stopped laughing. Shenyang J-11 China licensed Russia's Su-27, then reverse-engineered it, then improved it with Chinese radar and weapons. Russia cut off the technology transfer in fury. China didn't care. The J-11B outperformed the original in several key areas, and the student had become the problem. Chengdu FC-1, JF-17 Thunder. Jointly developed with Pakistan, this lightweight multi-role fighter was designed to be affordable and exportable. Pakistan flies it as their primary combat jet today. It's been used in real standoffs with India. China built a warplane that another country actually went to war with. Shenyang J-15, China's carrier-based fighter, reverse-engineered from an incomplete Su-33 prototype bought from Ukraine. Early versions had terrifying engine failure rates. Pilots called it the Flying Shark. Several died testing it. Today, it operates from 3 Chinese carriers and counting, Shenyang J-16. A deep strike twin-seat multi-role fighter built for precision ground attack and electronic warfare. It carries China's most advanced air-launched cruise missiles in a Taiwan conflict scenario. This is the aircraft that would hit hardened targets first, fast, lethal, and already operational in large numbers. Chengdu J-20, China's first stealth fighter, made its maiden flight in January 2011. The same day, U.S. Defense Secretary Robert Gates was meeting Chinese leadership in Beijing. Coincidence? The J-20 is built to kill tankers, radar planes, and command aircraft, not to dogfight, to blind. Shenyang J-35. China's second stealth fighter, smaller than the J-20, designed for carrier operations and export. If China sells this aircraft, allied nations across Asia could face stealth technology overnight. It's currently entering service, and the implications haven't fully hit Western defense planners yet. Bombers and strike aircraft Harbin H-5, a Chinese-built copy of the Soviet Il-28. This was China's first operational jet bomber, entered service in 1963 and could carry nuclear weapons. It gave China a nuclear delivery platform during the most dangerous years of the Cold War. Before most of the world knew China had the bomb, Harbin SH-5, China's only flying boat bomber, a massive maritime patrol aircraft that takes off from the ocean itself, developed in the 1970s to hunt submarines and strike ships. Only 7 were ever built, unusual, slow, and forgotten, but a glimpse of China's early maritime ambitions. Xi'an H-6. This bomber entered service in 1969 based on a Soviet design from the 1950s, and it is still flying combat patrols today. Upgraded variants carry cruise missiles and regularly circle Taiwan, a 50-year-old airframe that is still a genuine threat. Nothing about that should be possible. Nanchang Q-5, China's dedicated ground attack aircraft. Developed secretly during the Cultural Revolution when most defense projects were shut down, engineers hid the blueprints and kept working in private. The Q-5 entered service in 1970 and was exported to Pakistan, North Korea, and Bangladesh. Yan JH-7. Built almost entirely without foreign help, the JH-7 was China's first dedicated strike jet designed to kill ships at range, carries anti-ship missiles, and can hit targets far out to sea. When it appeared in the late 1990s, it told the world China was building power projection, not just defense. AEW and patrol aircraft Shanxi KJ-200. China's first domestically developed airborne early warning aircraft when a prototype crashed in 2006, killing all 40 crew including 35 of China's top radar engineers. The program nearly died with them. They rebuilt it anyway. The KJ-200 entered service and changed how China sees its airspace. Zhan KJ-2000, built on an Ilyushin IL-76 airframe with Israeli radar technology, before Washington pressured Israel to cancel the deal mid-development, China completed it anyway using domestic systems. The KJ-2000 is now China's most capable airborne command platform, comparable to the American E-3 Sentry, Shanxi KJ-500. The most advanced AEW aircraft China has ever built, a rotating radar dome, completely Chinese-designed electronics, and the ability to simultaneously track hundreds of targets. It's the primary eyes of the People's Liberation Army Air Force, and it's being exported to Pakistan. Shanxi KQ-200, China's dedicated maritime patrol aircraft, designed to hunt submarines across the South China Sea, where the drones can watch. The KQ-200 can listen, deploying sonobuoys and acoustic sensors deep into disputed waters. A quiet aircraft doing a very loud, strategic job. Xi'an KJ-600. Designed specifically for carrier operations, the KJ-600 will give Chinese carrier strike groups airborne early warning at sea, something no other Asian Navy possesses, currently in testing. When it deploys, every Navy in the Pacific will have to recalculate their threat assessments overnight. Trainer aircraft Nanchang CJ-5. China's first domestically assembled trainer aircraft, based on the Soviet Yak-18 but built with Chinese hands, introduced in 1954, it was the very first step toward aviation self-reliance. Every Chinese military pilot for a generation started their career in this propeller-driven cockpit, Nanchang CJ-6. The CJ-6 replaced it and became one of the most produced trainers in aviation history. Over 1,800 built, it trained virtually every PLAAF pilot through the Cold War and beyond. Surplus aircraft were later sold to civilian operators and warbird collectors worldwide. Shenyang JJ-5. A two-seat combat trainer version of the J-5, designed to prepare pilots for the transition to jet fighters. Simple, rugged, and unforgiving, exactly what China needed. It kept training pilots long after the single-seat version was retired from frontline service. Shenyang JJ-6. The trainer variant of China's most produced fighter. Pilots who would go on to fly frontline combat jets cut their teeth in the JJ-6, learning supersonic flight in an aircraft with zero tolerance for mistakes. It remained in service for decades as the backbone of advanced jet training. Guizhou JJ-7. When China finally developed a proper two-seat trainer based on the J-7 airframe, it completely transformed pilot conversion. New aviators could experience authentic combat aircraft handling with an instructor present. Export versions were sold to several nations flying Chinese-made jets. Hongdu JL-8K8. Karakoram. Co-developed with Pakistan, the JL-8 became one of China's most successful exports. Over 500 have been delivered to 14 countries including Egypt, Venezuela, and Zambia. It bridges basic and advanced jet training at a price point no Western competitor can match. Guizhou JL-9. Specifically designed to prepare pilots for fourth-generation fighter transitions, the JL-9 can reach supersonic speeds and simulate the handling of China's most advanced jets. It reduced the dangerous gap between trainer flying and frontline combat aircraft, and likely saved pilots' lives in the process. Hongdu JL-10. China's most advanced jet trainer. Purpose-built to prepare pilots for the J-20 stealth fighter, high-performance, super-maneuverable, equipped with a modern glass cockpit, this aircraft exists for one reason: to ensure the pilots of China's next generation of stealth jets are ready before they ever touch one. Transport aircraft Shijiazhuang Y-5, a Chinese-built copy of the Soviet Antonov. N-2 biplane, introduced in 1957, slow, simple, and extraordinarily reliable, the Y-5 dropped paratroopers, delivered supplies to remote regions, and served agriculture and disaster relief. Some are still flying commercially in China today, Shen Y-7. Based on the Soviet Antonov and 24 turboprop, the Y-7 became China's primary short-range transport and regional airliner through the 1980s and 90s. Military versions supplied remote garrisons along the Himalayan border, terrain that ground vehicles simply cannot reach, Shanxi Y-8. Derived from the Soviet N-12, the Y-8 became China's workhorse medium transport and has been modified into over 20 different variants: electronic intelligence gathering, maritime patrol, psychological operations, and airborne early warning, one airframe, 20 different missions. Shanxi Y-9, a thoroughly modernized evolution of the Y-8 with new turboprop engines, extended range, and a redesigned interior, the Y-9 handles everything the Y-8 did but farther and faster. It is currently one of the most versatile military transports in operational service anywhere in the world. Harbin Y-12, a small twin turboprop utility transport that became one of China's most commercially successful aircraft exports. Military versions serve in over a dozen countries. It lands on grass strips, dirt runways, and remote airfields, bringing Chinese aerospace into markets no major manufacturer bothered to serve. Gen Y-20, China's answer to the American C-17, a massive strategic airlifter that entered service in 2016, for the first time, China could rapidly deploy heavy armored vehicles and troops anywhere on Earth. The Y-20 didn't just change Chinese logistics, it changed Chinese foreign policy,